Hello everybody, welcome to Tuesday's Tips. My name is Anna. Laura couldn't be here today, so I'm filling in for her. I actually work in the product development team as a tester, and so we are so excited to introduce to you our newest addition to the Kimberbell line, our Keepsake Clasp Purses. We are so excited about this newest addition. They are so adorable, featuring our new clasps, and they just come in all sorts of different sizes and shapes with all of these beautiful stitches and different styles. So we are just so excited to introduce these to you and to show you a little bit about them today. So today we're actually going to be explaining how to do our boxed corners on the Keepsake Clasp Purses. And so we are going to start with what you're going to be looking at when you take your project out of the hoop. So this is just one side of the clasp purse, and so we do recommend using a visible thread for your last stitch. That will be your cut line. And so you're actually just going to use scissors and you're going to cut right on that stitch line all the way around, and that will be one side of your clasp purse. So when you've finished cutting it out, it will look just like this. So it will kind of be separate pieces, and you'll want to make sure that you clip all of your stitches to make sure you don't have any threads showing, anything hanging off there, and that it's all separate piece. So that's what it's going to look like. So once you've gotten to this point, you're going to start with your stabilizer side up. And if you notice, we also do recommend for that very first placement line to switch your bobbin thread to a visible color as well, so that you can clearly see these little notches that are right here. And this will come in handy later on as you're sewing your purse together. But we recommend using a water-soluble or heat-sensitive pen, and you're just going to kind of extend that line just so it's visible and easy to see. So right there, and then again on this side, just so that you can see those. Your next step is going to be to then starting with your corner on your left, if you're looking at it, the furthest left. You're actually going to take it and you're going to use your pen, and you're just going to write an A and a B, and on the opposite side you're going to go C and then D. So your project is going to look like this. And this will help you when placing all of them together to just keep them in order and know which ones you're supposed to be working with when. So you're going to do that on this stabilizer side, as well as you're going to turn it over and do the same thing on your lining fabric side, because you're actually going to be boxing them together separately. So you'll do the main fabric first and then your lining fabric. So you're going to label those on both sides, which then you will have this. So we've labeled that on both sides. So what you're going to do is you're going to separate your main fabric and your lining fabric, and you're just going to fold your lining fabric back out of the way so that you're kind of just dealing with your main fabric. And what you're going to do is you're going to start with your A and B points, and you're just going to fold your fabric and line up those lines together just like this. And then you're going to just take a straight pin and just pin it anywhere just so that those will stay together. So just like this. So I'll show you one more time. So we've got our C and our D points. You're just going to fold it there at the corner and then line those straight lines up. And then you're just going to pin it with a straight pin. So you'll do that on all four corners, and so you'll have everything pinned. Then you're going to take it to either a sewing machine, or you can hand sew it as well. And you're just going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and you're just going to stitch right along this edge here on all four sides with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and back stitching is really good to just help that hold in place. So once you've done that, your one side of your clasp purse is going to look just like this. So it's going to have those wonderful boxed corners on both your lining and your outside fabric of your purse. So that is how you do the boxed corners on the rectangle Keepsake Clasp Purse. So then I'm also going to show you how to do it on the smaller purses, and this is a technique that we call darts instead of boxed corners, but it's actually very similar. So you'll again start with your one half of your purse, and you're going to label all four corners of your purse, front and back. And you'll have your A, B, C, and D, and you're just going to do the same thing you did before. So you're going to pull your lining fabric back. With your A and B points, you're just going to take those straight edges and you're just going to fold them and line them up just like this. And again, you're going to just pin those in place. And with your C and D, your straight edges, you're just going to fold and line those up and then pin that again. So you'll do that on all 4 corners. And then you'll go and using the same technique, either with a sewing machine or using hand sewing, you just sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance on all 4 corners. So then that one with the darts finished is going to look just like this. So then you'll have 2 of these that eventually, after you've finished, you will end up sewing them all together, and that will become your darling little keepsake clasp purse. So,
do we have any questions?
We do. Diane asked, are you sewing a 1/4 inch away from the drawn line, or do you sew directly on the line?
So for here, there won't be there's not really a line drawn. What you're seeing is the back, your bobbin thread. So it'll just be a 1/4 inch from the edge of your fabric. So there's not, I mean, you can draw a line if that helps you to do that, but yeah, so it'll just be from the edge of the fabric. So.
Excellent. Any other questions?
And that was it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us with Tuesday Tips. We hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.